Yo, 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 welcome back to the Hulaham Hour. Kurtis and Nick are here at your service, and the Lions have the third toughest schedule that's being released in a hot second. Nick, what are your thoughts on the third toughest schedule for the Lions, man?
Yeah, let's go fuck up some good teams.
Whoopee! Let's kick it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's May 14th. God, it's May 14th. Wow. Feels like we just started this channel. It's been months ago now. Welcome to episode 20-something. Really appreciate the support that we've been continuing to receive. Nick, how's it going this week?
Hey, man, it's not going too bad. A lot of good sports on, some great weather outside. Can't complain.
Yeah. The weather's killing it. Finally getting outside. I'm in the middle of doing 17 things. Come in to do this still because we do not let you down. So, where to begin? I guess we'll start with the schedule release coming up. I believe it's actually going to be on while we're doing this. If it's not already released, I saw that there was a leak. It looks like, of course, it's related to the Cowboys because Cowboys suck. Yeah.
8 o'clock should be the release.
Yeah, probably. But regardless, we're going to go off of what we know so far. We already know all the matchups. We've already went over the matchups in this podcast a couple episodes ago. However, strength of schedules is where I'd like to start for now. The Lions are tied with the second actually hardest schedule this year with the Bears. Both opponents coming in at 165 and 124. As I stated before, we only play 4 teams that did not make the playoffs last year. The Giants have the hardest record or hardest strength of schedule, which I think is absolutely diabolically hilarious. However, Eagles have the 4th, Cowboys have the 5th. It looks like the majority of the hardest schedules are NFC North and the NFC East. That's kind of whack. And then you go down, the Saints and the 49ers have the 2 easiest schedules. The 49ers are playing a combined opponent winning percentage of 41%.
Saints are going to need all the help they can get.
Well, yeah, and the Giants do too, but the Giants are getting the biggest shaft of them all, man. That's unreal to me. You wonder why AFC's better. Well, maybe because they play each other shittily. I don't know, but it's just kind of sucks. Because the top 8 teams are the NFC North and the NFC East. It goes Giants, Bears, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Vikings, Commanders. Wasn't that interesting? I don't know. That's very interesting.
Playoff ready.
Yeah, I know. There's good and there's bad. There's like, okay, so we got to play all these tough teams so we're ready to come playoffs. If we make them. And that's a big if this year, especially Vikings, I feel, still going to be a force. Packers are always a problem. And the
Being
Bears,
a Tom
dude,
Izzo fan that you are, you're disappointing him.
Yeah. Well, the Bears, though, dude, are very intriguing because they've got Ben Johnson there, and he's done everything right so far, in my opinion, even though I hate the man. I think he's just doing it. He's doing it right. He is trying to surround Caleb Williams with the team. Period. He's not had a team. They've had players. So we'll see. That's going to be very interesting. I think Roger Goodell. That's not what have the Central or the North and the East done to you, man? Nothing.
Done. Finally get good again.
Yeah, we finally get good, and then you shaft us. No, that's not okay. It is not okay, Roger. So, that being said, schedule release comes out. I'm excited to see. I think we saw that the first game of the year is going to be Cowboys-Eagles, which is terrible, America. We are very sorry here on the Hulaham Hour that is the first NFL game of the year. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think the Eagles are just going to absolutely wreck the Cowboys. But shifting gears a little bit, I saw that the week 1 matchup for the Chiefs, I don't even know who it's against, but is taking place in Brazil. And Travis Kelce's pissed. What are your thoughts, Nick?
Well, dude, all these guys, I get them trying to expand the NFL, but shit, you want to play at home. You don't want to be going to a different country for a week.
The thing I'm most excited about is this fact, because we know you come here to the Hulaham Hour for facts. No team that's played an international game has ever made the Super Bowl. Guess what, Kansas City? It's totally, the ball is in your court, but everything is working against you. I think there's only been in the last 20, 30 seasons one team that had an above 500 record after losing a Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl hangover, people. And they're playing an international. Honestly, Roger Goodell, I take back what I said. You can give your vendetta right to the east and the north, because if you're gonna shun the devil worshippers in this manner, hats off, dude. My hat is off. And thank you for that. I think that is absolutely diabolically hilarious.
And Minnesota has 2 games overseas back-to-back weeks.
Please tell me the Lions don't play overseas this year.
I haven't heard anything about them. I just heard Minnesota literally has one, I think, in Dublin or Germany, and then they go to the UK literally the week after. So they're in Europe for like 3 fucking weeks.
Well, didn't the Jaguars have 2 games over there last year, and they were back-to-back?
Something like that.
I think they just stayed over there and just practiced over there. Yeah.
That
But
would
London,
suck.
I mean, the Jaguars are London's team. And quite frankly, if Jacksonville ever did decide to relocate, if they're really trying to push this international agenda, just move them to London. Make them the freaking London Jaguars. I mean, honestly, they've played the most there. They're the most well-received. And when you're looking in the crowd, yeah, there's jerseys from every team because they're just showing up to support whoever. But it's mostly Jaguars. So we'll see. It looks like, Jaguars are really pulling out all the stops. So who knows? I wouldn't put it past them to move there. I wouldn't at all. So, yeah, schedule release. We will be going over that in full on next week's episode. We'll kind of break down and probably go over the individual matchups, especially for the Lions. See what we think. So, Nick, you mentioned some Trey Hendrickson drama. You want to fill us in?
Yeah. I saw an interview yesterday he came out with that apparently him and the Bengals and his agent aren't even in conversations anymore. They're not even butting heads. They're just not even talking. They're, the other way. Which is crazy to me, how they're not even in conversations about a contract extension.
You want to know why?
I think they know they're going to suck and they don't want to spend the money.
That ain't it. They got no money left. They got no money left. Think about it. They've paid Joe Burrow. They've paid 2 wide receivers a hellacious amount of money. They got no money.
Yeah.
What are they going to pay him in fucking IOUs? Like,
how many teams do we watch people restructure and just put more into guarantees and free up cap room? If they really wanted to, they would.
And defense, honestly, is their weak point.
It could be even weaker.
Yeah, and to let your best player walk like that on defense when defense is what prevented Cincinnati from going to the playoffs last season, because they averaged 35 points a game, but when your defense gives up 42, guess what? You ain't winning nothing. And that's exactly what happened. Now, it fixed itself a little bit towards the end of the season, and I would not have wanted to play Cincinnati in the playoffs if I was any team come January. However, they still choked, so no force to be reckoned with. But, Joe's due, man. Joe's due for a really good playoff run. I feel I hate to see him be another Dan Marino. I really do. It would suck because he's great and he's going to continue to be great. And honestly, he would have won MVP last year had his team made the playoffs. But since they didn't, he kind of just got shunned out of the conversation. He might have even been the number 1 fantasy quarterback last year.
Yeah, there's probably a running quarterback that probably edged him.
I'm just saying, man, he chucked over 35 touchdowns. He killed it. So it was a good year for him. So, and for some reason, as much as I hate Ohio, I've always liked the Bengals. I don't know if it's the orange and the black color scheme or what it is, but I don't know. Cincinnati's close enough to the border that they just just go out of Ohio, go to Indiana or whatever the hell else, or Kentucky. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Cincinnati, pull your head out of your ass, sign the man, or send him to Detroit and watch Trey Hendrickson and Aiden Hutchinson be the best 1-2 punch the NFL will ever see at edge rush ever. It would still be crazy, and I'm not putting it out of the question. We did not really pursue one like we should have. As much of a freak as Hutchinson is, he needs help. Looks like we got a good young defensive tackle, too, that's hopefully can come in and make a really big impact right away, but he's no Aiden Hutchinson. And maybe the edge rusher we drafted from Boise turns out to be a freak. You never know, because look, Max Crosby was what, a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round pick? He was way late. I mean, it's you never know until you get him into the league and you get him suited up and you get him on that field and they play. In which we cannot wait. There is, let's see here, countdown. 116 days left, ladies and gentlemen, till our first episode of Red Zone, and we reconvene with Scott Hansen himself. Very, very, very excited. You also mentioned Nick on our pre-talk before the episode started about Derrick Henry. Lay it on us.
Get that motherfucker paid.
Paid, son.
Finally. I couldn't believe it when he signed for 2 years, $8 million. I'm like, fucking Derrick Henry. Seriously?
What did he get?
He got 2 years, $30 million, 25 guaranteed. I meant his original contract with Baltimore. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah,
everything I see, everybody's like, well, the stats on a running back over 30. Yeah, nobody else is Derrick Henry, though.
No.
That's just it.
No, that's for sure.
That rule applies to every other person that's not an absolute freak in nature.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And Derrick Henry is, and he's going to continue to be for the next few years.
Yeah. He still hit 22 miles an hour on runs last year, absolutely insane at 250 pounds.
Yeah, it's crazy what the man can do. He's been a freak since he came in the league. I can't believe he's been in the league as long as he has been. It doesn't feel like that. It's got to be approaching 10 years if it hasn't been 10 years.
Oh, it's got to be over. He's over 30. So, yeah, probably right around 10.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just remember when he was playing for Tennessee and Marcus Mariota threw that touchdown pass in the playoffs to himself. I just, off Derrick Henry's fucking helmet. That shit was wild. I was pretty tuned up when I was watching that game, and I kind of thought maybe I was more tuned up than I thought after I watched it, but then when they kept replaying it, I'm like, nah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, so, Derrick Henry gets paid. Trey Hendrickson does not get paid. Again, like I said, get these people paid. There's still some decent free agents left. I'm going to try not to breathe the man's name, but he's there. And then I believe Stefon Diggs is still a free agent, which I know he's coming off of an injury, I believe, but he's a solid weapon to have.
Amari Cooper,
another solid player. If the Browns had any smarts, they would be going after the wide receivers so that Dylan Gabriel had somebody to throw to. Because right now,
out there.
Right now, from what I'm hearing, Dylan Gabriel is performing the best out of anybody at Browns minicamp.
I don't pay any attention right now to what they're doing. They're throwing to the fifth-string guys on the practice squad.
Dylan Gabriel's showing out, though, man. And I was the one on here that said Dylan Gabriel will be a backup forever. Prove me wrong, young man. Prove me wrong.
This is as bad as watching pro days.
Oh, it's not quite that bad.
It's pretty fucking close.
All right, yeah. Negative Nelly. All right. Not a whole lot happening in the NFL this week. Let me just double check that we didn't miss anything else. Yep. Cowboys, Commanders, Lions, Vikings. Oh, man. So it looks like Lions, Vikings are going to be on Netflix for Christmas. Fun. It's Cowboys, Commanders, and Lions, Vikings. So we get all the primetime games on top of the fact that we have the hardest schedules. Thanks, NFL.
I enjoy it because now I can enjoy Scott Hansen even more during the day.
Yeah, I do like when our Lions... You're totally right, Nick. I do like when the Lions play in primetime because it does let me just watch Scott Hansen instead of having the Lions game on with Scott Hansen in the background. Because I do genuinely Red Zone is, if not the best channel in my opinion, period.
Hands down.
Like, it's just an unbelievably great production that those ladies and gentlemen put on over there at NFL Network, and my hat is off to you because it's nuts. And Scott Hansen, I still want to know, is there a pisser under your desk? Just asking for a friend. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Here we go. Cam Hayward's message to Steelers fans after offseason turnover. Don't panic. Well, Cam, I have some news for you. We're panicking a little bit. We don't have a play caller. And the only one worth a shit left is someone no one wants. Clearly. Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, I get it. You got to come out and be positive about it.
Well,
Excuse me. In the same breath, he needs a reason to be positive, and right now he doesn't have one. And I just don't see Will Howard coming in and making that difference. If Kenny Pickett could have did that, and he didn't. So I think Kenny Pickett overall is a better quarterback.
I don't think so. I think Will Howard's got the right build for a quarterback and the right fundamentals. I think if coached right, I think he could.
We've been over this. Ohio State quarterbacks do not translate to the NFL.
Yeah.
I get the kid won a national championship. I get that he plays good. I get his stats are there. I've always thought that because, like, for example, Mac Jones, he wasn't very sought after as a quarterback into the NFL. Now, granted, he did get drafted. He did play. He did start. He did start. However, I never understood why he wasn't praised more playing for a national champion. I never understood that. So, hey, we'll see.
I totally get why a lot of them quarterbacks, like in his era, though, was hand the ball off in Alabama and run it down your throat. At least like Ohio State or even Tua, they actually spread the ball out and let their receivers go.
Yeah.
Old Alabama was hit you with an occasional deep shot, and I'm going to run it down your throat. That's why Derrick Henry went there.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I would love it if they just told Rodgers to get bent and Will Howard played and they still made the playoffs. But I guess time will tell. Like you said, Nick, I really think he who shall not be named is just sitting there with his thumb up his ass, possibly his whole fist, saying, I'm going to wait till all the bullshit's done, and then I'll come in.
He is, too. He's 41. He absolutely is doing that.
Yeah, so.
And Cam Hayward's excited because he doesn't play on offense. They got more defensive players, and they always have a great defense. That's why Cam's excited.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that is going to wrap up our NFL talk for this week. And, yeah, like I said, next week we'll be filling you in on the schedule update that comes out in a few hours. Actually, like an hour. Okay. Moving on to the PGA Truist Championship. Truist Championship was this weekend. Sepp Straka took the W, even though Shane Lowry led the majority of day 3 and day 4. Nick, I know you didn't care much about the Truist. You get to watch any of it?
Yeah, I still ended up watching quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love golf. And Sepp, he's been on the leaderboard all year.
He's like number 4. He's like number 4 right now.
But coming through on Sundays, it shows why it's so hard to do on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Feels good for him. I'm glad he got it.
So, yeah, Sepp Straka moved up to number 2 with that victory. He's now 521 points behind Rory, who's in first. Justin Thomas is in third. Scotty Scheffler is in fourth. And Andrew Novak is in fifth. Yeah. Sep's been playing wildly good. He's been in the top 10 a bunch of times already this season. Yeah, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch the back and forth towards the end, but it was like watching Shane Lowry's in the lead, then Sep's in the lead, then Lowry's in the lead, then Sep's in the lead. It was just a fun back and forth. It was a good golf match. The course seemed like it was in good shape. And like you said, though, Nick, I think they call them championships because I think there's another implication, like that you have to be invited to these like you have to place in the top 10 or something to be able to play in those championships. So like the Travelers Championship and stuff like that. Like I get where you were coming from when we were having that conversation about like them calling themselves a championship when they're really like not, like a major is a championship.
Yeah.
But I think when I did a little research, I believe that's why they call them that, because there only is 2 or 3 in a season, but I think you do have to qualify and get an invite for them. That's why they're called that.
I think there's 6 signature events.
Yep. I think that would be, that sounds right. But again, nobody comes here for facts, Nick, so no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We love you, Hulahammers. So with that being said, Truth Championships in the books. Seb Straka is your champion. We are moving forward to PGA Championship is this weekend. Starts tomorrow, Charlotte, North Carolina, at Quail Hollow. Nick, I know we went over this again, but I'm going to do it again. Who is who you got winning? You put money down on it. Who you got?
Man, I'm probably going to roll with Rory.
Yeah.
I think he's just got the weight of the world lifted off his shoulders, so now he can just go out and shoot.
Yeah, he didn't shoot super hot at the Truist, though.
No, but he had a few weeks
off. Shake the rust off a little bit, I suppose. But Xander won it last year. It's a crapshoot, dude. I would really like to see like somebody get their first major championship, but it would also be really cool to see Scotty get his first major that wasn't a Masters jacket. So I'm going to pull for Scotty still. I believe that's who I said in a previous episode. Spot check me and tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But,
so they said that Quail Hollows is supposed to get an ass load of rain the next couple days. So there's going to be no rollout on this course this weekend. It's going to be a long ball hitter's dream.
Awesome.
They said it's playing like the course is 7,600 yards, and it's going to be playing like 8,000.
Awesome.
So Scotty, Rory, your 330-yard driver.
Bryson, they'll all be just whacking it, dude.
Yeah, and you're going to look to be aggressive at the pin.
That's great. I'm glad you told me that. Thank you for that. I love watching them bomb the ball like that. I wish I could do that, but I just can't seem to do it.
And I love greens like the Masters, but I also love seeing these guys go aggressive and just go right at the pins with softer greens.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch that.
It is, because you can just stick that sumbitch right there. Just
boop.
So, that's going to be fun. So,
should be high scoring if it's like that.
Yeah, for sure. So, I got Scotty. You got Rory. We will give you the results next week, and hopefully we will have a new winner of the PGA Championship. It's going to be
So, here's something different about this major, too. This is one of the first times a major has used a regular PGA Tour event course for a major.
Really?
Yeah, because Rory has won here a couple times, but it wasn't a major. Yeah. It was just a regular event on the PGA Tour.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
That was kind of odd. Usually they don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, they played at Quail Hollow last year, though, too, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah,
but not as a major. Not as a major.
Where was the PGA Championship last year?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I was just watching this not long ago.
Yeah, no, you're right. No. You're right. Quail Hollow was after the PGA Championship last year.
Yeah,
it was because Rory.
Usually majors got their own set courses, but this is one that they cycled in from the rotation.
Well,
so Scotty has never shot there, but Rory's won there a couple times.
Would you just look at it? Yeah, cool. Yeah, that is smart. So, Nick, put some money down because you're probably going to be right. Rory, go out there and win one for your country. Be cool, man. Be cool, but again, you already got your Triple Crown or your Grand Slam, so
go win another one.
Yeah, yeah, go get another one.
Don't be satisfied, Rory. You're not that old.
Yep, for sure. So,
and he doesn't have to talk to Bryson.
Yeah, it's true. All right. My last topic on golf, and then we'll move on. But I saw there was somebody on YouTube. I don't remember who it was. Otherwise, I would shout you out. I apologize. that did this thing where they were asking people at a golf event if you could golf a round with any 4 golfers, dead or alive, ever, but obviously it's a foursome. You can pick 4 people, but you would golf with them as a 5th. Who would be your foursome that you would select to play with? It's a good one, isn't it?
That is a good one because there's a lot.
So I'll start, and then maybe it'll spark you. I'm gonna start with the
piece here.
I'm gonna start with the basics. My number 1 would be John Daly. I'm gonna go real basic white bitch here and go Tiger Woods for my number 2. I think my number 3 would probably have to be Jack Nicklaus, and I think my number 4 would probably be Ben Hogan. It's just really, it's hard to sit down and think, and those are such basic answers. But then I also thought, like, Mo Norman would have been a really cool one to golf with because he was just such a different breed of golfer. I don't even know if you know who Mo Norman was. And if you don't, you should look him up because he was like, dude, this guy, there's a documentary on him, and he would, like, go to events and not, like, put himself up in a hotel and just sleep on a bench at the golf course and then wake up and play around and win. Like, it's wild, man. You'll have to look him up. Shout out Mo Norman, though. He had a crazy swing. Super, super cool dude. But, yeah, so anyways, who would you put up there?
I'd probably have to go with Jack.
Yeah,
definitely Tiger. I'm going to throw a curveball just for personality here. I want to golf with Tom Kim.
Yeah. Arnold Palmer would be another good one. You know what?
It'd be an exciting round.
I was torn between Ben Hogan and Bryson, but I'd love to golf with Bryson too.
I would too. It would just the round itself would just be so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Because we've all seen now that Tiger's kind of getting older and his personality's coming out, and he's not busy fucking white women. That, like, he's a chill dude, man. Like, he's got jokes and shit. Like, it's, But the PGA also, that's why I said this before, but the best thing Bryson did for his golf career was leave the PGA. It really was. I don't know, because they just don't have you under their thumb anymore, and Bryson was able to start a social media empire and was able to be a creator and was able to be a YouTube phenomenon, and it goes on from there. So I know that people are hung up on this whole PGA Live thing. I just really hope they can come to a conclusion soon so that we can all be on the same page again. Please get this done. But yeah, dream foursome. Leave it down in the comments what would be your dream foursome. We're very interested to hear what you have to say. Moving on. NHL playoffs. Nick, get us caught up here a little bit.
Man, the NHL playoffs been some lopsided series, but also been some great hockey. Obviously, the one I'm most interested in is that Florida to Toronto. Mm-hmm. Which, dude, Game 7 tonight's just kicking off. Tune in because it is going to be fucking brutal. Did you watch the end of the last game?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's going to carry over like a motherfucker. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Vegas looked a little flat. What do you think about the Vegas-Dallas series?
You mean
yeah, Vegas Stars.
No, it's Vegas Oilers.
Or Vegas Edmonton.
Yeah. I think that Edmonton is just on that comeback streak from hell, and the Knights are caught up in it. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy. It's been fun hockey to watch. It's really been fun hockey. The Jets Stars series hasn't been very fun to watch. The Maple Leafs Panthers series has been great. Capitals Hurricanes has been fun to watch, but I'm starting. It's looking bleak, man, for Ovi. It's not looking very good for his Caps, down 3-1 right now. So we'll just have to see.
Carolina, I told you, man, they look good.
Yeah.
5-on-5, they're insane, and the amount of shots they take.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. They definitely, like you said, best 5-on-5 team I think that's left. It sucks to say, but if I'm putting money on anybody watching them play right now, they're hot. They're hot, and they're quick, and they play well, and so we'll just have to see. So, yeah, so we got Dallas is up 3-1 on the Jets. We've got Edmonton is up 3-1 on the Knights. Series is tied 2-2 with the Maple Leafs and the Panthers, and Carolina's up 3-1 on the Capitals. We've got tonight Maple Leafs Panthers starts actually should be started already. And then we got the late game with the Knights and the Oilers. Yeah, so not looking so good for my pick, but it's your Panthers are still in it. I mean, I can't doubt them. They could win 3 games in a row. Who knows? But we'll see. So, yeah, playoffs, full swing. We'll have the conference finals lined up probably for next week's episode, and we'll be making our picks again. So, moving on here. Moving on up. Moving on up. All right, the NBA draft lottery was last night. And your winner this year was the Dallas Mavericks, which means Cooper Flagg will be playing for the Dallas Mavericks. What are your thoughts on that, Nick?
Yeah, nobody's happier than Nico Harrison to keep his job.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, my God. What 1.8% chance to win that pick. And holy shit, did he just get saved.
Yeah.
Now you're going to pair AD with Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving with the bigs that they got. Now it actually looks like a fucking team.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's but, you know, to be honest, do you think if Dallas was doing as bad as they were through the part way of the season, they would have traded Luka?
I think it was kind of inevitable. They just didn't like his defense and his bitching.
Could you imagine, though, a world where they got that number 1 pick, still had Luka, and now would get Cooper Flagg?
Yeah, but, you know, they've made it pretty clear that they want to base their team off their defense, and as great as Luka is, that ain't him.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, they already got, you know, Cooper Flagg all photoshopped up in a Dallas jersey and all sorts of shit, so we'll
And how excited was Cooper Flagg to see teams like the Wizards come off the board in Charlotte? He's actually going to a decent team. That's wild.
Okay, so Dwayne Wade apparently spoke his mind about this Dallas winning the lottery. Dwayne Wade cast doubt on legitimacy of NBA draft lottery amid rigging speculation. It's a business because did you see what Dallas's percentage was to get the number 1 overall pick?
1.8.
Dude, are you freaking shitting me?
And it came down to either Cooper Flagg going there or going with Wemby and Castle, the 2 defensive rookies of the or player rookie of the years. Really? Cooper Flagg had to be fucking jumping up and down.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
I thought he was going to go die in Washington, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because, you know, maybe Dwayne Wade's onto something and they're doing this so that all these young men like Cade Cunningham don't have to go to a team and suck balls for 10 years before they're actually worth a fuck. So,
dude, I love the lottery, and you want to talk about preventing tanking.
Yeah.
Dude, there was a few teams with the worst records that have terrible picks.
Yeah.
For being the worst
true.
team, at least.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's pretty nuts. But again, I've said this before. I think every league should do it as long as it's legit. I mean, is there still a chance you're 1.8% that you win? Yeah, it's 1.8%. There's a chance. Yeah. But it just seems like lately that it has been, you know, a team with a 1.8% chance of winning the lottery, which is pretty crazy. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good for Dallas, even though, you know, but yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Good luck, Cooper Flagg. At least you're not going to like a Cleveland Browns situation. So yeah, good luck, young man. So to the NBA playoffs. First off, like to give a shout out to Jason Tatum. That is a terrible way to end your season. Don't wish that upon any player in any sport. So wish you a fast, speedy recovery. But what do you think yet Boston's chances are coming back on New York now?
I think they win tonight, and I think they lose in Madison.
Yeah.
I do. I think Knicks take it in 6.
The Knicks have not been able to win at home, though, man. I don't know. Maybe they'll just finish it tonight. So we'll have to see. That game is on currently on TNT and True TV. Yeah, New York's up 3-1. Indiana beat Cleveland. Your Cleveland Cavaliers are out, dude.
Dude, they looked like shit, and the Pacers look good.
Pacers look better than good. Pacers look like a team that's destined to win it all this year. Watching the little bit that I've watched them play in this playoffs, they look just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they made it to this point last year, though. It was the second year in a row in the finals. Let's see if they can get over the hump.
Yep. Well, we'll see. They'll either be playing the Knicks or the Celtics. It's looking like the Knicks at this point, but yeah.
You can't count the Knicks out. They're doing the same thing as they are.
Yep, they sure are, dude. They sure are. So we've got the Thunder and Nuggets. OKC's up 3-2 in that series. Minnesota's up 3-1 on the Warriors, but Steph Curry's been out too, which is kind of the whole team. So, and then you've got, the Eastern. Yeah, we're gonna have conference finals matchups next week. It's looking pretty good for Minnesota and for New York. OKC, that series. I kind of think whoever wins the Thunder's Nuggets series is going to win the West. So that's just, it's going to be tough to.
They
to
should.
do that. Yeah, they should. So Nick, you have to pick a new favorite to win it all. Who are you going to pick?
I'm honestly torn with the teams that are left. I think it's kind of a crapshoot, but I'd have to agree with you. I kind of think the winner of the Denver OKC series.
Yeah.
I think it'll be OKC. I think they'll pull it out. Denver's won in some crazy fucking ways, and that's not going to last forever.
Yep, for sure. For sure, man.
But Jokic, oh my God. What an amazing athlete, player.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. He's freak of nature.
He needs some help if they're going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Murray had 28 points, but he shot 10 of 27 to get that 28 points. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Help, guys. Help the big fella.
Help.
Throw a lifeline. Throw a raft.
All right. You got anything on the NBA?
No.
All right.
I watched a little bit of the combine workouts today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on.
Cooper Flag attended the combine.
Oh, look at that. Somebody that actually gives a shit.
Yeah. Just saying.
Take notes, NFL. Take notes, Sanders family.
And Cooper Flag's way more of a number one pick than any of them guys were ever thought to be.
There's not many times when you just absolutely know someone's going number one no matter who it is. And
they were saying that when he got into college, not after he even played a game in college. After
they were like,
entered.
this kid is gonna get, this kid's gonna get it.
He is 18 years old.
Yeah,
he left high school early to go to college for that 1 year. He is literally only 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
It's only 1 year you got to play in the college to go.
Yep, one and dones, man. Coach Cal was the famous one and doner at Kentucky. He started that pretty much.
I do kind of miss players being able to go out right out of high school. I do.
Yeah, it's not 3 years like the NFL. So if they can't do 1 year in college where they're getting paid a bunch of NIL,
yeah, now they're getting paid, so there's no excuse. That's for sure.
Yeah, get the fuck over it.
Yep. Oh, let me wipe my tears with my $100 bills. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you, Booster, for that $4 million. What am I ever gonna do in life?
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, moving on. MLB Tigers are killing it, man. One in a walk-off, I think you said.
Yep.
Last night. Yeah, in the 11th.
Javi.
Yeah, dude. Tigers look great.
Shout out Baez hitting 304.
Yep.
He's playing well this year.
Yeah, Baez, I think, is in our bottom ticker. Peep the bottom. Peep it. Peep it. Whatever. However, Tigers are still in first in the American League Central at 28-15. We are 7-3 in our last 10. We're finally starting to win some games on the road, which is great. We haven't started off like shit on the road. We are currently 16-5 at home and 12-10 on the road, so we're above 500 on the road now, which is great because we were not as of last week, I don't believe. So that is great. So Tigers, keep up the good work. It's been a fun season to watch. It's been very exciting to be able to tune on the games like tonight. currently tied 1-1 with Boston. Tune that. Peep that. It's on FanDuel Network. So, yeah. A little shorter version of the Hulaham Hour this week. But that's okay.
Some will be longer, some will be shorter.
Yeah. And we're only going to be getting longer each week that we get closer to the NFL season that is rapidly approaching. So, next week, we'll be covering the NFL schedule release. We'll be going over our picks for the Lions games. Lions are going to go 17-0, dude. I can feel it. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, so I guess with that being said, Nick and I are signing off. This is another week in the books. We are Hulaham out.